Hello guys and welcome to this week's episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula, your host and the Landscapers coach, and today I'm talking about how we take your solo run, single person operated landscaping business to creating a self-running landscaping businesses, and basically talking about how landscapers can grow their business without burning out. So if this is of interest to you, then please do listen to the show. As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show. Hello guys and welcome to this episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. How are you? I am sat on my balcony in sunny Thailand. We are flying home tonight. We have had two cases of the norovirus, Mike and my son. So it's been a very not good time. I am feeling absolutely drained, tired and exhausted from it. They are both on the mend and we fly home this evening. So that's my update, back to real life, back to landscaping and back to proper work and life and working out what our next steps are. So that's what's happening here. Today I wanted to talk to you about something pretty key in any business, let alone landscaping business. But it's not necessarily about growing your business to a large business. It's about giving yourself the breathing room to become a business owner and not just someone who's on the tools all the time. This is your episode if you're still quoting all the time, night and day, and you're still answering clients at 9 o'clock at night when it should be your time, your decompressing time, your family time, just you time really. And growing your landscaping business often adds a lot of stress before you can physically remove the stress. And today's episode is talking about leading before you have the leaders within your business to do so. So I believe that none of us, including you, started a landscaping business to feel trapped in it. Yet these are the conversations I have year on year with landscapers. They end up feeling quite trapped in their business, and then they begin to question whether they even want to be in this industry, whether they want a business, or whether it's even going back to being employed again. And essentially, when you set up a landscaping business, and this is why I set up a landscapers coach, you set up a business because you had the skills to do landscaping. What you didn't have was the leadership skills, the business skills, the marketing skills, and all the other things that go along with creating a successful business. When you are running the business and in the business, so you're working on it and in it all of the time, you're generally the only one who's quoting the jobs, ordering the materials, handling the complaints, deciding how the job looks, doing the designs, doing the builds, managing the cash, doing the admin, the accounts, the marketing, everything. It all becomes you. And your business then begins to hit a ceiling. You're doing quite a few jobs. I mean, 3 key main jobs that you'll be doing as a sole trader, or even if you've got one small team, is that you'll be doing the landscaping. So you'll be doing the job, you'll be doing the paving, you'll be doing the planting, you'll be doing the designing, you'll be doing the installation, you'll be doing the maintenance, the mowing, whatever it is that you're working on. You'll also be the manager. So you'll be scheduling all your jobs. You'll be making sure that everything's hitting the quality checks that you want to. You'll be checking the materials. You'll be ordering all the materials. You'll be scheduling any crews you have. So you will be managing the whole process. And then you are also, let's not forget, the owner of the business. And that means that you should be, and this is what sometimes doesn't happen because you are so full on working in the business, is you should be looking at your vision, your mission, your pricing, your systems, and ultimately growth of the business. And the problem is that most smaller or sole traders are stuck in 90% of being in the business and not working enough on the business. And then you're also wondering why nothing changes. So I'm going to ask you, the first question I'm going to ask you this episode is, when was the last time you worked on the business, like properly on the business, thinking about maybe goal setting? It's, we've just come out of January, we're hitting February now. Maybe you were setting some goals. Maybe you were looking at the vision of the business. Maybe you were doing some cash flow forecasting or pricing exercises. I don't know, but ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you worked on the business and not in it? And actually, do you have a schedule of time that you spend to work on the business? If not, why not? You should do that immediately. We often also talk about in the landscape industry is hiring and why first hires fail. And the problem isn't always the worker. Now, a lot of the times it can be, we choose the wrong person, but it can be a lot to do with our lack of clarity. So many of the common mistakes, what we'll do is hire a good worker, but they've got no job expectations. They've got no quality standards. They've got clear decision boundaries, no clear decision boundaries. You can say something to them, such as make it look nice, but nice means something different to everyone. So there's no clear direction to them. And the problem is, if you're feeling in chaos, out of control, really busy, then you're just delegating that chaos to someone else. And the key to this is systems. So systems will replace any micromanaging that you need to do. So landscaping systems that matter are sort of how the job begins, really, from the first start of talking to a client. You need to, create that information document. So for me, an Excel spreadsheet where you capture as much detail on the client as possible, because that begins the customer journey. You need to look at, when you get to a job, what's going to happen, who's going to be there, what are the first jobs to do. You need to look at who's going to order the materials, how is the job going to run, have you got a job schedule in place? Do your teams know about that schedule? Can they order materials? Have you given them a clear boundary to be able to order materials, or do they have to come through you? Either way, it doesn't matter. You should be looking at job costings all the time to make sure that you are making money, not losing money. And if you are losing money, where is that coming from? Is that coming from the quote that you did? Are you underquoting? Or is it coming from the mismanagement of your crew? Are they under-delivering to what you expect? And therefore, are you setting the right expectations to them? Are you being really clear with them? So you have to have multiple systems in place. One of my landscaping clients has created his own job scheduling system through a pretty cool bit of software that he's looked at. And he's created it to basically help run his job and help give more management to his team. So allowing them to work to a job schedule, learning that, they have to learn that they have X amount of days to do this particular task. And the whole job has this many days attached to it, so they have some clear boundaries. Now, this is what job schedules and job costings do. They help you tighten up what can effectively go out of control really, really quickly. And I want you to think about, if someone didn't turn up tomorrow, what would break straight away? Have a think about that, because that will show you what systems need to be put into place, really. You need to basically try and elevate your team into a much more, they can work without constant direction and micromanagement from you. So, because essentially every time someone on your team phones you, and this happened multiple times in my business, then it's basically pulling you off any revenue generating work that you might be doing. So you might be really focused on doing your quotes. So you're getting all your quotes done, you're getting them sent out, you're following up with clients, all of that. But then someone contacts you. So one of your team contacts you with a customer issue or a job issue, whatever it might be. And essentially that's pulling you off the really important task of revenue generating for your business and building your business. And you've got to think of it this way. Every phone call is a leadership failure somewhere. So you've got to think about that. How are you leading your team, and can you put into place anything that helps you do that? And leadership really just starts with how you communicate with the team. That's all it is. And we've got to learn early as managers. Though we didn't start the business to become a manager, you will become a manager. You're going to have to give feedback without emotion. You're going to have to explain why you're asking them to do things, not just what you're asking them to do. You're going to have to let them work differently within the standards and clear boundaries that you set. They won't do it like you, we know that, but they don't have to. We just have to make sure they know their boundaries and what is clearly important for you and your business. And what I want to talk about is also the shift that can create way more freedom in your business. And that is that growth isn't just about the number of jobs that you're bringing in and completing. It's about a better structure. So the whole idea is if you can improve working on you, your business, on the business, not in the business, working on your leadership skills, when your leadership skills improve and you start becoming a better leader in the business, you will have fewer calls from your clients and from your team because there'll be less issues. They'll be running the jobs a lot better. You will also have better staff retention because you're going to be giving them way more responsibility and they'll feel a more integral part of the team. You will even attract higher value jobs because your structure is there, your business looks the part, and you'll be able to have time off without worrying about the business, which is obviously the most important thing. If you can lead from the front and you can get the business running without you, then you can have the time off you want to do the things that you want to do with your family without panicking about everything. And I just want to reiterate that the goal isn't a bigger business. It's about having a business that doesn't need you every day. Isn't that what we all strive to do, so we can have more time for ourselves? And I'm going to finish up with some action steps for this week for you guys, because this is obviously important. And I want you to make changes in your business. That's the whole point of me doing this podcast and being the landscapes coach. So 3 things that you could do is write down what good work looks like on a common job that you normally do. Okay. Create one checklist that a future employee could follow for that job. And decide one decision you'll stop making personally that you could potentially delegate to somebody else today. Now, that could be delegate to one of your team, if you have a team, or it could be outsourcing something to somebody else that might help you, maybe a PA, maybe getting someone to do some of your marketing for you or anything like that. But just have a think about one decision that you can stop making today personally and give to someone else. So the art of delegation, really. And if you want to take a step back from your business one day, whether that's now or in the future, you are going to have to start leading differently. You are going to have to think about your leadership, your communication, which is really, really, really important, and think about hiring better, and also the structure that you want your business to have in it so that it can grow without you and can work without you. So if this resonated with you, do let me know. I appreciate the feedback. Do share this with the landscaper who's doing everything themselves, because the more people that hear about this and realise they need to change one thing, do different things in their business, might just help them out. And I will be back on the next episode of this Landscapes podcast. If you are looking for some help with creating structure in your business, or you want help creating a marketing plan, so that's fully structured and ready to be actioned, let me know. That's what I'm here for. I offer one-to-one coaching, and also my background is marketing, sales and leadership specialist. So get in touch, Paula at thelandscaperscoach.co.uk, and I will see you on the next episode of the Limitless Landscapes podcast. See you later.